Well, thank you. Well, I want to thank our witnesses for joining us today. I'm certainly grateful for your contributions to what is a very serious and a very important discussion. And I want to certainly thank Ranking Member Portman for holding this hearing with me here today. I think today's hearing sheds some new light on some serious problems of rising domestic extremism and violence and its relationship to amplified content on platforms. We heard from our first panel earlier today about how user engagement and revenue generation are the primary incentives that drive product development and decision-making at your companies, and that the overall goals of growth and profit are always prioritized over the safety of users. That trade-off, revenue over safety, has contributed to, unfortunately, some real-world harms, from horrific attacks and acts of violence motivated by extreme ideologies to our fundamental democratic process also being challenged. I'll be honest, I'm frustrated that the chief product officers, who all of you have a prominent seat at the table when these business decisions are made, were not more prepared to speak to specifics about your product development process, even when you were specifically asked if you would bring specific numbers to us here today, and that your companies continue to really avoid sharing some very important information with us. We've been working on this for quite some time and continue to be frustrated at the slow response or the no response that we receive from you. The testimony we heard today from both experts and from former executives, as well as from the four of you, have made clear the important work of the current trust and safety teams is simply not enough to address the problem. This problem continues to be with us today. Although we heard plenty of testimony about your company's contact moderation policies, what contact gets removed and why, and even how much you spend on safety measures, it is clear that those actions cannot effectively address this problem as long as the product development process and the revenue-based incentives do not change to make safety a higher priority in those structures. We need to continue this important conversation. This will be the first of, I'm sure, many conversations, and discuss possible regulatory measures and changes to the incentive structures within your companies to build better practices, to limit the spread of harmful and extreme content before it's actually spread to users. Certainly we appreciate actions that are taken after the fact, but at that point, much harm could already be released out into society with potentially catastrophic consequences, and we all want to be ahead of the problem, not reacting to a problem that exists already in our society. As chairman of this committee, I'll continue to work alongside Ranking Member Portman and members of the committee to find effective solutions to this growing homeland security threat. And I certainly hope that each and every one of you will be part of that process to find that solution. We all need to be working together on this. I think it's very clear. The more we talk about this issue, the more we realize how complex it is, and it's going to take all of us putting our heads together and figuring out a path forward. The record for this hearing will remain open for 15 days until 5 p.m. on September 29th, 2021 for the submission of statements and questions for the record. With that, this hearing is now adjourned.